Steve will be selecting first in Double Jeopardy from these categories. Well-versed in poetry.
Hold on.
4 of the same letter. I was his vice president. The Daily Quintuple. Stand-up comedians. And finally, A material. You all know what those quotes mean. Steve, start us off.
I was his vice president 2000.
Charles Curtis, the first person of Native American descent to be elected vice president. Karen.
Was Hoover?
Right.
Vice president for 1600.
Charles Dawes, a man with a plan. Nabir.
Who is Truman?
Nope. Steve or Karen? Who's Calvin Coolidge? All right, Karen, pick again.
Vice president for 12.
John Nance Garner. Who's Franklin Roosevelt? Keep going.
Let's hop over to poetry for 2000.
This Kipling poem ends, "You'll be a man, my son." Karen.
Was If?
Right.
Poetry for 1600.
A poem by Wordsworth begins, "I wandered lonely as this, that floats on high o'er vales and hills." Nabir.
What is a cloud?
Yes.
A material 2.
This 2-word compound with the formula NH4NO3 is one of the world's most popular fertilizers. Nabir.
What is ammonium nitrate?
Correct.
A material 16.
That's the Daily Double.
You can go on as you want.
2,000 behind Karen.
I'll wager 2000.
Okay, here's your clue. The cavity-filling alloy called dental this is half mercury and half other metals such as silver.
What is amalgam?
Correct, and you are now tied for first place.
A material 12.
See here, it's found on menus before smoked bacon. Karen.
Was Applewood.
Correct.
4 of the same letter for 12.
From old words for one and all, today it means disreputable or undesirable people. 4 F's and riffraff. All right, Karen, pick again.
4 of the same letter for 16.
Adjective meaning lacking all moral principles. What is unscrupulous with 4 U's? Keep going, Karen.
Let's try 4 of the same letter for 2000.
Collective name for strategic measures taken by a nation to discourage hostile action by another. Nabir.
What is preemptive?
No. Steve.
What is peremptory? No.
Nope. What is deterrence? All right, Karen, pick another clue.
Poetry for 12.
This poem begins, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Nabir.
What is the road not taken?
Right.
Quintuple 16.
That's the other Daily Double.
You need to catch up.
Just
You need to catch Karen this time.
I'll wager 1000.
What?
Here's your clue. This cabinet secretary is 5th in the line of presidential succession between the secretaries of state and defense.
What is treasury?
That's correct. That adds 1,000 to your score.
Quintuple for 2000.
Zakat, an alms tax to benefit the needy, is one of the 5 these, Arkan al-Islam in Arabic. Nabir.
What are the pillars of Islam?
Right.
Quintuple 12.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. ABC was a #1 hit in 1970 for this group. Karen.
We're the Jackson 5.
Yes.
Comedians for 12.
This Pakistani-American comic says Spellcheck wants to change his first name to Camel. Steve.
Who is Namgiani?
Yes, and you're out of the hole.
Stand-up comedians for 16.
Seen here is this comedian, not the robot version of her that joined her on a 2019 Netflix special. Who's Whitney Cummings? Steve, pick again.
Stand-up comedians for 2000.
The 2020 documentary The Comedy Store has interviews with Letterman, Damon Wayans, and of course him, the son of the club's owner. Who's Pauly Shore? Steve, select again.
A material for 800.
In 2020, a town in Quebec voted to no longer
sorry
be
about
named
the
for this dangerous
camera,
stuff
guys.
once mined there. Karen.
Was asbestos.
Right.
Poetry for 8.
The wasteland begins with the declaration that this is the cruelest month. Karen.
Was April.
Right.
Poetry for 4.
Antique title of a poem about a warship that mentions her deck, once red with hero's blood. Steve.
What is the Odyssey?
Nope. Karen or beer? What is Old Ironsides? Karen still in control?
Vice president for 8.
Spiro Agnew. Nabir.
Who's Nixon?
Right.
Vice President 4.
Al Gore. Steve.
It was Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Quintuple for 800.
Alphabetically, it's the first of the 5 Great Lakes. Karen.
Was Erie?
Right.
Quintuple for 4.
This term for a geometric figure is from the Greek for 5 corner. Nabir.
What is Pentagon?
Correct.
A material 4.
Reynolds Wrap is a brand of this stuff. Nabir.
What is aluminum foil?
Right.
4 with the same letter 8.
Why, you little one of these? A young, cheeky, and presumptuous person. Steve.
What is whippersnapper?
Yes.
Stand-up comedians for 8.
Drew Carey was the
I
subject
don't think
of the
Steve
first
is
Comedy
going to become a
Central roast,
semifinalist. It's going to be held in the
televised version of a tradition by
quarterfinals.
this showbiz club. Steve.
We're the Friars.
Good.
Stand-up comedians for 4.
On the cover of this great African
We'll
American
just see how this
comic's
goes.
1968 debut album, his mustache is a shadow of what it would become. Steve.
Who's Crier?
Yes.
4 with the same letter for 4.
It's someone who reveals secrets or informs on others. Correct response, tattletale. All right, Karen, you've got
This is gonna be a close
14,200. Nabir right on her tail with 13,200. Steve with 2,400. You'll be dealing with this category for Final Jeopardy. Animals. Think carefully about those wagers. We got a semi-final spot and also those wild cards up for grabs. We'll be back with a clue right after this.
This is going to be a close game between Karen and Nabir.
The Tournament of Champions is proudly presented by Consumer Cellular.
In a tournament for top wireless value,